Happy Monday. Happy Monday, and welcome to Audacity Presents. So glad that you have taken time out of your busy Monday. If you're listening to us when our podcast is published, thank you for taking time out. I try to make sure that they are published Monday morning. Of course, you can go to YouTube, you can go to any podcast platform and listen to our podcast. So, happy Monday. Happy Monday, and thanks for joining. So, busy weekend this weekend. Really, I had a busy week last week, but I'm not going to complain. But busy weekend this weekend. A big thank you to Beauty for Ashes Ministries. They had their sixth annual women's conference this weekend, and it was great. Like, there's no words to describe it. Lenora and Kim always do a great job. They are the co-founders of this ministry. They always do a great job in putting their ministries together. And I have had the honor to speak as their conference speaker, to serve as a panel discussion moderator. And this year, I got an opportunity to serve as their prayer speaker and moderator for that session. So I had the privilege to share the platform with some wonderful ladies. Karen Williams, who was the conference keynote speaker, always does a great job and tells you like like it is, okay? Christina Gardner, who took us through a sacred reminder session where we made prayer pockets. I am not really a creative type person, but I did participate and made my prayer pocket. They are wonderful. You can check her out at C. Marie and Company. I think I also have her on my Instagram where I posted another event that she and I were part of. So check that out. And then I also had the privilege to share the platform with therapist, licensed professional counselor Tremaine Williams, who I always enjoy. She always has some hidden nuggets in her message that is always eye opening. And so she walked us through getting rid of weight, and so she had these weight loss forms on the table, but it wasn't the weight loss that you would think. There are things in our life that we might need to let go of. And she walked us through that exercise, which was really great. It was great seeing her and sharing the platform with her. I got an opportunity to meet her, part of her family, her sister Demetria. I think I remember her name correctly. Her sister Demetria, who listens to our podcast. I got a chance to meet her mother. They all flew in from Louisiana to support her this weekend. So it was a great time. My session, the prayer session, focused in on letting it go. And so it was just a perfect tie in to the other speakers on the platform about letting go. First, you've got to recognize yourself. You need to see you for you and who you are. And so once you're able to recognize that, I was able to come in and do the session on Let It Go. And it was great. I could talk about it for a while, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just thankful that I had that opportunity. If you remember the first of the year, I said my desire was to have more speaking engagements, and God has honored that desire, and I am so grateful. I think I have a total of 6 or 7 speaking engagements already on my calendar for this year. And so I will be at Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Garland, Texas on April 25th for a women's conference. I'll be one of the speakers there. And you can find more information on my website or by going to my social media. So I am just thankful for the opportunity to continue to share God's word, to meet other women who are also doing the same thing. And I just thank God for answering my desire to have more speaking engagements this year. So now that I've gotten that said, we got to continue this conversation, right? We have for the past 8 weeks, this is going on week 9, I have been talking about the audacity to trust. And um, it was easy for me to write about and talk about trusting God because that's what we're supposed to do. And I was able to give you some reasons as to why you should trust God. And then we moved into the audacity to trust yourself. And sometimes we can be a little sketchy when it comes to trusting our own thoughts, trusting our own decisions. And so we spent a couple of weeks on that. And then last week, I moved to the audacity to trust others. And that's where I felt that I was I don't know, that I had nothing to say. I had something to say, but I felt like I had no answer to what it means to trust others because of the world that we live in today. And believe it or not, last week's episode was a very emotional episode for me, both in preparing it and recording that episode. And so I want to continue talking about the audacity to trust others this week because I think there are some things that we try to put as a requirement, for lack of a better word, when it comes to trusting others. And so I'll start off by asking the question, can you love someone but not trust them? Think about that. Can you love someone without trusting them? And after I recorded last week's episode, at first I didn't have an answer for this question, but after recording last week's episode, my answer is yes. Yes, I believe that you can love someone but not trust them. I believe with trust comes love. However, love does not always come with trust. Let me say that again. I believe with trust comes love. However, love does not always come with trust. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with what I'm saying. Like if I'm going to trust someone, there is a level of love there because I am trusting. I mean, trusting someone that's a I was going to say a hard thing to do, but it's a big thing to do because when you trust someone, you are almost kind of surrendering yourself to that person because you trust them. And so I believe that trusting someone comes with loving that person as well, not necessarily to a degree of intimacy, but loving that person. However, I can love someone who hurt me, someone whose trust was broken with me, but that trust can disappear, but I can still love them. And I think about what I talked about last week when I said, your parents are like the first level of people that you trust. They're your parents. They're the ones as a baby that you depend on to be fed and taken care of. And sometimes that trust in parents can lead to a parent neglecting a child, abusing a child, mistreating a child. And I feel like as that child matures into an adult and they come to know Christ, they forgive their parents for what was done and can love their parents but not trust them anymore. Y'all tell me if y'all agree with that or not. So the scriptures command us to love others. And when we do, does trusting then come automatic? I don't think so. Because, like I said, you can love someone but not trust them. Like I have some people in my life, I'm gonna put this out there. I have some people in my life that I love, but there is a level to my trust in them. Ooh, do y'all have some people like that? Like you know how they are. You know that they have probably done some things that you have had to look side eye at them about, but yet that's your girl, that's your boy. And so you love them, but you know to the degree that you can trust them. I know a lot of y'all are like shaking your head like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I got a few people like that in my life. I have some people like that in my life. I love them, but boy, I know how much I can trust them. I know what I can depend on them for. And just because they have done something that I'm like, I can't trust you to do that anymore. But yet we still cool. Yet I still love you. You still my girl. So I think all of us do that. So I think that justifies my statement in saying that you can love someone, but it may not always come with complete trust. You may not have 100% trust in them, just like you can love someone and not trust them at all, at all. And so, like I said, throughout scripture, we are told to trust in the Lord. But there is little to no mention of God saying, I need you to trust in man. You just can't find it. I mean, there's maybe one, maybe two, and I could be wrong. I haven't did a deep study, but there's a few places where being trustworthy is mentioned in the Bible. But I just don't recall, and not that I've done a deep study, that God tells us to completely and fully trust man. He does tell us to fully and completely to love. He tells us to love our neighbors, to love our parents, to love him. But the trust thing, I don't know. Did God know that these people cannot be trusted? Look, God knew that. He knew that when he chose Israel to be his people. How many times did these people disobey God? And I can just in my head picture God saying, I can't trust y'all. Like you ask for a judge, I give you a judge, you go off and start sinning and doing things as you like, then you come back crying back to me. Come on now. That could be why God didn't inspire man to write a lot of scriptures about trust. But anyway, I get off track. So think about this. One bad experience can dissolve our trust in others, and it can cause us to start grouping individuals together. So, like one uh, I'm just gonna throw this out there, far-fetched. So one 6'2" tall, dark-skinned man treated me bad, so I can't trust any men that are 6'2", dark-skinned. Like we start putting people into groups, or no, I had one bad experience at church, so now I can't trust anybody at church. I had one bad experience with this woman at church. Now I think all women at church cannot be trusted. We can't live like that, y'all. We can, even though we be wanting to, we cannot live like that. We don't let one bad experience keep you from meeting and trusting your next best friend. You never know. You never, never know. So, just as we have discussed trusting God and trusting ourselves, we have to take the same actions when we trust others. It all points back to trusting God. He always has our best interest at heart, even when it comes to trusting others. And I've said this in previous episodes. While trusting others will never add up to how we lean and depend and trust on God, we must still look at a person's consistency, their character, and their ability to determine, is this someone I can trust? Now, they won't be 100%, but as you get to know them, you get a sense, your sense of trust will kick in. I guarantee you, all of us, and I've even said this sometimes, ooh, my spirit didn't click with her. I have met some people where I've had a conversation, I've smiled, I was kind, and then walked away and said, our spirits did not click. And then on the other side of that, I have met people, and man, it's like our spirits connected immediately. And I'm just meeting and talking to this person for the first time. I believe that to be true. I believe that your inner spirit or the Holy Spirit, something is telling you yes or no about a person. Something is telling you that. So other things that you can do as you trust others is to be open. Like show who you truly are. Because Maya Angelou says when a person shows you who they truly are, believe them. Show who you truly are. Let the person know where you stand. Don't agree of liking something because they like something because you're trying to be friends with them. No, be honest and open and let that person know where you stand. Let them see your full self. And then assume good intentions until they show you otherwise. Like, I have met people, and sometimes we tend to size up a person when we meet them. Like, women, we're guilty of this. We will look a person from head to toe and we will develop our own perception of what type of person that is without even getting to know them. I have had that happen to me several times and even had a woman tell me, I really didn't want to talk to you at first because I thought you were stuck up. I thought you were bougie. I thought you were all of that. But now that I know you, you are real loud and country. True story. I have had a woman, actually a couple of women tell me that. Mind you, those of you that know me, I'm gonna be dressed head to toe. You know I am. And believe it or not, even though I record a podcast and I do speaking engagements and people don't believe me when I tell them I am shy, y'all better believe it when I tell y'all I am shy. It is the Holy Spirit within me that allows me to do what I do. And so my shyness isn't me being stuck up. My shyness is because I don't generally gravitate to people. And so I worked in corporate America. I used to travel, used to have clients. And so I know how to, I'm not going to say play the game, but I know how to play the role of being a social person and connecting with people. But that is not my general personality. And I don't care, Tony, Dana, Yolanda, I'm going to call y'all out. Y'all are probably saying, ooh, she lying. I am not. I am a shy person by nature. I really am. I don't care what y'all say. But anyway, assume good intentions until they show you otherwise. Um, Communicate honestly and listen to what others have to say. Now, when I say bring your whole self, your full self to the table when you meet someone, don't dictate the conversation. Get to know the person that you're meeting for the first time. And then, lastly, and I talked about this earlier, when they do fall short, and they will, trust me, when they do fall short, be understanding. What you think about trusting others, that same person may feel the same way about trusting you. Because I guarantee you, just like the person that you meet that may not be 100% trustworthy, you may not be 100% trustworthy either. There may be some things that you do that they're like, oh, I know I can't trust her in that situation. So look at yourself first. So think about the things you do to show that you are trustworthy. Like when you're meeting someone for the first time, do you smile? Are you a good conversationalist? And the last thing I want to say about this is there are levels to trusting others. Not everyone makes it to your inner circle, okay? But that doesn't mean they can't be trusted. Like, I don't know if y'all are like me, like I have levels of friends. Like there are people that are in my inner circle that I can cry with, that I can call, that I can text them to pray for me. I pray for them, that I can share personal things with. And then there's people at another level that I know that I may not see all the time. I may not talk to all the time. And then there's even a level I would say that like a lot of people at church, like I see them at church on Sunday and I hee hee and ha ha with them and we have a good time. And I don't talk to them anymore that week till the next Sunday. And so I consider them to be trustworthy people, but they're at a different level than people that I talk to or text with during the week, right? And then I think there's people that are even at another level that I may see and talk to once a year. Doesn't mean I don't trust them and I don't love them. It's just our lives are separate and there are things that each of us are doing. And we're just not at that level of closeness, but it doesn't mean I don't trust them. So I think it's okay to have different levels of people that you trust. Yeah, I said that. And so, look, for those of y'all that are my friends, don't be texting me talking about what level am I at? Okay, we're not going there. But just know that I love you, okay? I may not trust you all the time, but I do love you. So trusting others is not it's not an easy thing. And I do say enter it with caution because in this world we live in today, oh my gosh, there are so many people that are could be scammers, could be people that want to become your friend for some reason or other, that are after something. So look to God to lead and guide you, and also know that when people come into your life, it could be because God sent them. I have a lot of people that have come into my life that I know it was nothing but God that sent them, because at that specific period in my life of what I was going through, I mean, I had a lady from nowhere come up and start talking to me. And during a season in my life was the best encourager that, man, any person could have. And I've known of this person, but didn't really know her. And I just felt like God sent her to me at a time that I needed someone like her in my life. So trust me, don't be too suspicious when someone out of the ordinary comes into your life, because they could be there for the season that you're going through. And God, of which I truly believe, could have sent them to walk with you in that specific season. Trust me, I have experienced that for myself. And in that season I was in, I don't think I would have made it had it not been for this person. And I will forever be grateful to her. And when that season was over, it's like God said, "Okay, your work is done." And we just kind of went back to our normal um, lives. I mean, I still see this person, but during that season, oh my God, she was there. She was texting. She was my rock that I needed in that season. And when that season was over, we just kind of went back to our normal. It was so organic, so normal the way it happened. And I'm not going to say the way it ended, because I still see her and I feel that I know her better than I did before, but it was just so organic the way it happened. I knew it was God sent when it happened. So, trusting others is not easy, but I hope that I have shared some things with you that will help you in trusting others. So, my merry moment this week is the only reason, and I think I saw this on TikTok, because y'all know I do some research on TikTok as a minister, right? I saw this on TikTok. It said, the only reason you know how to ride a bike is because someone you trusted let go of you. Oh my gosh. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. Let me read it again. The only reason you know how to ride a bike is because someone you trusted let go of you. I'm going to let y'all think about that for a minute. Think about that. So my replay for this week, song called Abide. And when you hear it, you might be like, Mary, why you listen to this kind of worship music? Let me tell you, it's the words for me. I mean, y'all know I love a song with a good beat, but this one right here, it's the words for me. Abide by Aaron Williams and Kane. And some of the words are for my waking breath, for my daily bread, I depend on you. I depend on you. For the sun to rise, for my sleep at night, Lord, I depend on you. I depend on you. And then it goes into this stanza of, you're the way, the truth, and the life. You're the well that never runs dry. I'm the branch and you are the vine. Draw me close and teach me to abide. Oh my God. This song, I've been hearing it on the radio for a while, but I don't know. On a particular day, I'm listening. I was just really tuned into the words, and I'm like, oh my God, this is how much we depend on God for our waking breath. We cannot wake up unless God wakes us up. For our daily bread, He provides all of our needs. For the sun to rise, it is God who tells the sun to rise. For my sleep at night, I depend on you because He is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the well that never runs dry. I am the branch, but He is the vine. Don't you know without the vine, the branch will not survive? You better stay connected to the vine. And then it says, draw me close and teach me to abide. As the Baptist preacher would say, that'll preach right there. Listen, I hope y'all have a good week. No. Let me say this. I know y'all are going to have a good week this week because y'all have listened to Audacity Presents and you have depended on God for this week. Listen, thank you for always supporting Audacity Presents, and we will see you next week.